Hey YouTubers, it's me, Zipster. I gotta tell you, boy, I've been watching this, I was nominated for a reward from YouTube for best commentary. Could never figure that out. Anyway, so they're like, the voting was supposed to be over at 3 p.m. Pacific time today, which would have been 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the time I'm on. It's okay. So I'm like at 6 o'clock, I'm like checking it out, and they're saying, votes will be tallied in 3 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, they're just going to spit this stuff right out and tell us who won. Because it said, the winners will be announced Friday. Okay, great. So 6 o'clock comes, and all of a sudden the clock starts going again. It said, next series of votes will be tallied in 59 minutes. And I'm like, what the hell? So they wound up voting like an extra 3 hours, which beats the shit out of me. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So then finally I checked it at like, I guess, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes ago or something, and they finally said, thank you for your votes, voting is closed, blah, 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 blah. And they said, winners will be announced Monday. I'm like, well, what do you mean Monday? I was all ready to already do my I'm not a loser, but I'm not a winner video, But now I have to wait till Monday to do the I'm not a loser, I'm not a loser, I'm not a winner. Is that what I called it? I'll figure it out later. Anyway, so then I'm like, well, gee, now I don't know what to talk about. Then all of a sudden I remember, what are you, crazy? You don't have nothing to talk about? So I'm going stream of consciousness with this SOC theater. We'll call it stream of consciousness. I'm remembering way back, I guess it was 1969. I was at this place called Illick's Mill. It was like this historic grist mill or something, I guess, that they had the city had taken over, and they turned it into like a youth center, which of course in 1969 turned into a big place where a lot of people just went and did drugs and listened to music, because they had live music and stuff. That's actually where I got my start in like the folky scene, whatever. But it was just 300 kids hanging around like tripping every day. So I would go there like every night. And one night, whatever, I met this woman. Let's call her Sheila. I mentioned her real name in videos earlier on, but it's getting to the point now where I'm afraid people are going to sue me for slander and stuff. So let's call her Sheila. Okay, and we met, and we hit it off immediately. I don't know why. We were both tripping or whatever. But we wound up spending 3 days. I had a Rambler. It was like an old Rambler, and the front seats went back and met up with the back seats, so you could actually turn it into a kind of a double bed kind of thing. And we had a tunnel of acid. So we wound up we met that day, and we stayed in my car for 3 days straight. We didn't even have sex. We were just tripping and talking the whole 3 days. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this bitch. And even though, somewhere in my head I knew I was gay, but it was, the age of Aquarius. And, go where you want to go, do what you want to do. It's why should sex, whatever the sex of a person is, dictate whether I can love them or not? So I convinced myself that I totally was in love with Sheila. Okay, great. So everything was going pretty good. But I'll tell you, it was, she should have really been hip to this shit. I had no interest in having sex with her. I just wanted to be with her all the time. And we were together all the time. And every once in a while she'd put the moves on me. And I'd and I'd give her the line, I want to wait till we're married. Anytime a guy ever says that to you, they are gay. Okay, let's just get that straight right here and now. Okay, good. So, I remember once we went to a concert in Philadelphia. I think it was Leon Russell, and I don't remember who, because we were doing a lot of drugs back then. But, okay, so we ran into a whole bunch of people at this concert that were really cool, and we were really messed up. And they were instead of driving 3 hours home, we'd like a crash pad, and boy was it ever. We were a crash pad just up the street. You guys can all stay there. And there were 5 of us, me and Sheila and 3 other people who had all gone to this concert together. So we get to this crash pad and we take more acid. Everybody's tripping like crazy. And the crash pad, it was one room, and it was maybe 10 by 10. It was like a walk-in closet, pretty much, with mattresses on the floor, and it was a crash pad. And everybody's getting into their own trip, and I'm playing some dude's playing, finger games with me, which is it was so trippy when you were tripping, whatever. And all of a sudden I realized I hadn't seen or heard from Sheila in a while, and I'm looking around, and it was dimly lit, red light, and what are those lava lamps, and the whole hippy dippy bullshit. And all of a sudden I discovered that Sheila is screwing some hippie dude over on a mattress. I'm like, okay, I know she's a horny broad, and I know I haven't given her any, but gee, this is kind of tasteless. I mean, I'm sitting right here. So I kind of said, okay, well, that's the end of that. So, I went outside and was walking around, and one of my friends came out, and we were walking around, and I'm like, man, I can't believe she did that right in front of me, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of told her, okay, if this is how you are, I mean, free love is great, but, okay, maybe we better break up. So we broke up for like 2 months or 3 months. It was a while. We hadn't talked to each other at all, no contact. One day the phone rings, and I think my mother answered it, and she's like, it's Sheila. I'm like, Sheila? I get on the phone, and Sheila says, will you marry me? And I said, yes. And so, this was like in January. And so, all of a sudden, like February 11th, we're getting married. Oh my God. Okay, first of all, this is the great part. Well, we had prearranged that we would both take acid like an hour before the ceremony, so we'd both be peeking for the ceremony, which would be really cool, blah, blah, blah. And so I get to the church, and you can't see the bride before and all that crap. But I get to the church, and her parents, who were never really crazy about me anyway, because quite frankly, 2 of their sons had gone to West Point. They had a picture of one of them like shaking Nixon's hand when he was the vice president. They were like upstanding Catholic, oh God, everything I wasn't. And the first time they laid eyes on me, they were just like, what did she drag home now? So I get to the church. Her parents won't even look at me. Nobody in her family will even look at me. Very weird. And I'm tripping too, so it's multiple weird, So I'm standing up at the front of the church, and my manager at the time, Mimi, is sitting up in the balcony playing the organ. And my baby sisters are standing up in the balcony, and they go break into Ode to Joy. And there's lyrics to it, which I never even knew. So my sister's singing Ode to Joy, my manager's playing the organ, and Stella's walking down the aisle. And I want to tell you, this was like Technicolor from this acid, because we had some good stuff. So, okay, ceremony over, don't remember a thing about it. We get in a van or something, get driven off. We go to like the Liederkranz Hall or someplace for the reception, and like it was in the basement, and there were bowling alleys down there, but they like covered them with plywood or something, so you could. I didn't understand it, but meanwhile the big things that deliver the bowling balls were like popping up all over the floor. It was really bizarre. But the weirdest thing was the entertainment. Sheila's big brother was an electric accordion player. So he volunteered his services as the entertainment at the reception, because Sheila's parents weren't really fond about throwing a whole lot of money down this well, so, so brother, let's call him Eduardo. He's playing the electric accordion. Now me and Stella and all our friends are all tripping, and here we are in the Liederkranz Hall with bowling alley things popping up out of the floor with this big dude playing like Lady of Spain on the electric accordion. It was enough to make you go insane. It's like, talk about a bad trip. And then, okay, so it's over. So Stella and I go back to our apartment, and like 15 people followed us, and we were all just a mess. And I think we stayed up for like 3 days with these people, and Stella was getting more pissed. Sheila was getting more pissed off by the minute, because there were always people around, so I didn't have to screw her. And I'm happy as hell, because I had never been with a woman before. Gee, that's from that Kink song, Lola. Anyway, so they finally left, and I had to do it, and I better stop with the story, but I'll continue it later. But let me tell you, that was one hell of a wedding day. That is not every girl's dream come true, that's for sure. I'll talk to you later. Okay, thank you!